Hello everyone. The tie's up. I'm not in pyjamas tonight. Good to see you all. I do have the world's largest mug though, which is great. Given to me by my lovely brother, but I think I've told you that before. Good evening everyone. Good evening Mark. Good evening Nige. Good evening Alan. Hi Lindsay. Hi Louise. Hi Nige again. Good to see you. Hello Fiona. Good to see you. Hello Gail. Hi Stacey. Hi Helen. Good to see you. Hi Charlie. There's Mark again. My good friend Mark. Some very familiar faces. Hello Stu. Hi Kerry. Hi Stacey. Hi Amanda. There's Jenny Coy. Hello Rachel. Good evening. Hello. Everyone got their notebooks ready. Stand by. There's lots coming this way tonight. There is lots and lots of stuff. All good stuff. Hello Karen. Hi Jane. Hi Stephanie. Hello Anne-Marie. Hello Jodie. So we're just letting people build. Hi Rachel. Hello Karen. Hello Lynn, down the road, good to see you Lynn. Hi Danny, hi Lisa. Hi Yemzi. Hi Amanda. Hi Tess, good to see you. We're just, hi Adam, there's a fella in the house, I'm always chuffed. That's 3 of us now mate, there's 3 of us here. Hello Sam. I'm just going to have another slurp of this. Hi Janice. It's our Tess. Hello, Linda. Right, we've got lots to go through. Right, folks, have you all got your notebooks ready? We're going to go through quite a bit here, so it is going to be quite detailed. So please, you be scribbling, scribble away. That's what it's all about. It's about dissemination of the latest information that is coming in, particularly out from the coroner's court, and also in terms of 999 calls, etc. That just reminds me, 999 protocol. Okay, good to see you all. Hello Faz, hi Dee, hi Chris, hello Karen, hi Leslie. Right, and my sister, hi poor Louise. Louise is in the house. Great. Right, let me just start by saying there's absolutely no doubt. Team, we're in it for a long haul here, and therefore, if any of you thought that this was going to be a three week in terms of lockdown, I know the rest of the nation thinks that, but in terms of ourselves, I think we're in for a long haul here, quite seriously. I've told my team today that we need to establish systems that can sustain us through the next 6 months, which sounds horrendous, but I'm afraid the faster people get their head round it, the faster they're going to realise that this is for real. So that's the first thing. I think realistically, certainly the next 3 months we're going to be in pretty much what we're in at the moment. And if it doesn't turn out to be that, that's absolutely fine. But undoubtedly, though, I think we are going to be into a 3 months. And certainly this is undoubtedly, as I said before, this is a marathon, not a chase. So the faster you establish systems, the faster you get into what we generally call a battle rhythm, then you will be able to sustain this campaign. And it is effectively a campaign that we are all waging here. And we are at war. We're not playing at this, so we are at war. And the faster you can make sure you've got your connections, your strategic connections, your operational connections, your tactical connections into your organisations, the better. So don't be just thinking, if I can just slip through to the end of next week or this week, then things will be sort of, it's not going to be. So Birkdale Park was on ITV tonight. Yours truly was on the ukulele. It was quite a nice piece actually. Anyway, so that was we had all the residents and staff, and I think they loved it. Right, so there's a couple of things here. First, you've got to plan that you will be off at some point. I said to my team, it sounds a bit mad, I'd rather catch it now before the spike in about 2 weeks to 3 weeks. I'd rather catch this thing now than probably in 2 to 3 weeks when we could go through the most challenging period. but undoubtedly you must plan, every single one of you, that you will not be in your care homes for 2 weeks. So how are you going to sustain that? So today I've got my two iPads, both with different accounts on, and I had this virtual loop that we established in the office. So I could in effect go tonight or tomorrow, and most of my office systems, I've been running off zip drives for the last 3 to 4 weeks. Everything is pretty much with me, so we could sustain that. What did come apparent was that payroll was sitting on one computer, and I asked my amazing Jane, what the plan was, and we didn't really sort of have a plan. That's not her fault, that was my fault. So tomorrow we've got 2 new laptops coming. I'm going to enable all the icons, all the apps on there, and even if for 24 hours, whatever, she just works from home just to make sure that we've got our systems in place, because I can tell you now, you will not get time to be able to establish this quickly and to be able to do it properly. So do a full dress rehearsal, full technical rehearsal. Build your reserves up. I'm putting an appeal out for additional appeal on bank. Our bank staff are growing, but previously we had some really good people that moved on from Birkdale Park. We're reaching out to them again just to say, look, are we able to put you back on the bank? Are we able just to make sure we're okay? So re-establish some of those reacquaintances, re-establish from CAPE, don't just focus on care. Don't be just totally care-centric. Think about your maintenance, think about, if you've got, we've got one maintenance guy, but I've got another 2 in the wings who can possibly come in, sort a boiler out. Also, do you know where all your thermostats are? Do you know how, or do your staff know where your fuse boxes are? So they're the sort of things, your business continuity things. So tomorrow, one of the things I'm going around is photographing fuse boxes, etc., in order to make sure I can brief people on where the hell they are, if boilers go down, etc. Mutual support. What I would suggest is that each and every one of you, even if you're in a group, each and every one of you start to team up with a local care home. For no other reason, you just need a bit of mutual support. We don't know how this is going to play out, so that might be in terms of PPE, it might be staff, it could be payroll, it could be anything. But having someone on the end of the phone and you say, "You're right there, mate, how's it going?" And just being a little bit of mutual support is great. Right, I just want to go through death certification. There was a little bit of confusion. According to English law, any sane, sort of capable adult that has capacity can certify death. I think we just need to go a little bit more than that, rather than sort of give them a prod and a poke and go, well, they feel cold. I think we need a little bit more than that, and certainly it needs to be a professional that has a professional clinical background, ideally. But I would certainly make sure you have some sort of protocol of how, so you have a system of how to pronounce death, and it could be fixed pupils, it could be no signs of respiration, it could be no arterial pulse. Have some sort of system that you can put in place, and therefore even for your clinicians, so your clinicians who are well served and well experienced in this, but make sure you have a system, a protocol that you can follow over this period. The death certification, so for ourselves, we don't require a GP to attend site. We just need to make sure that we inform the GP that there has been death on site. We read off in terms of the stats or protocol, inform the GP. There's then 2 sides of form, which the GP will then issue then to the likes of the registrar. And there's no requirement now for a relative to attend in person, just so you're aware of that. So the additional information on that form will be such as the relatives information and phone number. So the registrar can phone the relative to clarify who they are, and you'll already have that information from the GP, so that the 2 are triangulated, and therefore there's no requirement in person for someone to go and verify the death. It just means then that the whole process is speeded up, and a PDF is then issued. So Tessa just said, what about care homes with no RGN? This is where you need to, well, first and foremost, there's two scenarios. The first one is that if you need to certainly train your seniors to be able to use the likes of BM kit or BM kit, blood pressure, and so that they are able to take some genuine observations. But you also ideally possibly need to team up with a nursing home around the corner from you, so that in the event of death, you can call Mary from Birkdale Park or wherever to whiz round and actually verify death formally. So just have a look at that. Again, these are sort of things that we all need to be considering. Certifying residential home. Okay, that's so. Louise just says we are state that life is extinct. We can't certify it in a residential care home. Again, I don't want to go against that, Louise, but I think just try and partner up if you can at all with someone with another nursing home, one closest proximity, that you might be able to assist with that. Again, this is all local based. So talk to your local CCG, and what do they want you to do. So so again, it's not just a bit of a prod and a poke. So also the requirement previously, where there's no requirement now for a second GP to verify. The previous 14 days, I think if we all knew, if the person hadn't been seen within 14 days, it was then automatically coroner's. That has now been extended to 28 days, pretty much as at today actually. So 28 days, and also you can see someone. Video consultation is also now accepted. So whilst a GP might not go on site, where the next few days, video consultation with your senior, with your RGN, is also now validated as consultation. So that is really important. So make sure that you've got some sort of video facility. Most laptops, could even be a phone, for Christ's sake. So anything like that. So the 14 days formally being extended now to 28 days. Everyone all right on that? So there are some significant changes now to death certification and validation, verification. And that's important for people to understand. The key things is that certainly a professional can do it, so it's not just GPs now coming on site. Make sure you inform a GP, even out of hours. Once that's been certified, they will give you authorization then to get in touch with the undertaker. So you can see how the process has been speeded up. 28 days now instead of normal 14 days, and video consultation is now accepted. A few other bits and pieces. If you have a COVID patient, do not use fans. Do not use fans on that COVID patient. Is everyone all right with that? Nebulizers are not aerosol generating. Nebulizers are not aerosol generating, and therefore you do not require FFP3 masks for them. They are not aerosol generating. Syringe drivers, the cleaning of syringe drivers, I mean, this is very much a local thing for ourselves, but again, we'll all be in the business of syringe drivers. Just make sure that these are wiped down before handing back if you're on a loan system. There are a few sort of quite funny stainless steel nuts and bolts in there. The advice is that do your best in terms of wiping down some sort of so chloroclean or something of the equivalent of that. But also squeeze some of that sort of gel, antiseptic gel, sort of chloroform onto the nuts and bolts, and that is deemed acceptable. Again, obviously refer locally, but that is something which up our neck is being accepted. Right, care after death. Again, it's just preparing the body as per normal sort of apron and gloves, etc. If there's any keepsakes. If there's any keepsakes such as hair, jewellery, etc., they're to be immediately removed from the body, and they're to be placed immediately into a sealable bag, almost like a jiffy bag or a sandwich bag. And they cannot be opened for 7 days. That gives the if there's virus on there, then the virus will have died off. So it's keepsakes, hair locks, anything like that, or bits of jewellery, rings. Put it into a sealable bag and do not open for 7 days. Trachea tubes, so tracheostomy tubes, you leave in place, do not be removing those. Not really applicable for ourselves, but just so you're aware. Any suspected COVID, so this is only for suspected or confirmed COVID patients. If they die normally, or sort of someone who is non-COVID, then of course this doesn't apply, keeps etc. etc. But if you have a COVID patient, then there's no removal of pacemakers, ICDs, and therefore they cannot be cremated. So there's no opening up of the body post death, and those patients sadly can only be buried. That's something which has only just come out. COVID now is a formal cause of death, and it remains notifiable. So with various notifiable chain of command, for ourselves it's the community infection control. We have to ring a number there for one. If we have multiple cases, we have a different number, certainly up here in Sefton. So COVID is now a cause of death, a formal cause of death. Right, just so you know, 10 mourners per, again, this could be a locality thing, but it's only 10 mourners per cremation service. And also they have now formally permitted to the streaming of funerals, although there might be in addition and to video streaming of funerals. The latest guidance in terms of managing COVID-19 in care homes, that has been issued by the government. If you haven't got a copy of that, I can send that. I'll copy the link in to the inner circle. But that is the current latest. It doesn't say a great deal, I've got to say. It's all pretty basic stuff, but that is the latest guidance at the moment. Some basic observations: temperature, blood pressure, respiratory rate, and therefore if you're a nursing home, this is all run-of-the-mill stuff, but if you're a residential home, just have the ability to try and make sure your staff are suitably trained. Again, it's no great rocket science, but there has to be some sort of training component built into this though, which is really important. Tympanic thermometers. This is a brilliant idea. So these bad boys, at the moment at Birkdale Park we're using these, and we're also using the laser zapper things. The laser zapper things, I've got to say, are particularly unreliable. We've had temperatures of like 34 degrees when clearly, that's on me, so that's on sort of hypothermic. Right, so the issue we've got with these is these bad boys are running out. So is an idea. So we had all sorts of things, possibly use cling film. So there's it fitted. How about this? This came from Jan in Dovehaven. A brilliant idea. So one of these, again, you'll have your gloves on. Remove, place into an envelope, leave in the person's room, and that is their cap. So I don't need 34, so I only need 34. That is a brilliant idea, and so well done to Jan from Dovehaven. That is a fantastic idea. So that has just saved you all a load of those. So anyway, so it's just a really good idea I thought today. That's what we're about, sharing brilliant ideas. Isolating patients, they recommend with a closed door to avoid very much the isolation feel on that. We're getting visqueen sheets which are going over the doors, so at least you can still see through. And again, the aerosol nature of the virus, it's not going to travel more than 2 meters anyway, but at least there's something there. You can wear a mask for 4 hours in between patients. That was just a stat which was mentioned today. Again, I'm not going to. That was a statistic which was mentioned today. Symptoms, just to remind you: temperature in terms of fever, cough, breathlessness, and also delirium. And it is the rapid deterioration. There are the unexpected rapid deterioration, which is quite unexpected. If you get someone with symptoms, please get the advice early. Do not wait for the advice. Do not wait until you suspect or anything like that. Get the advice early. Phone into the GP. Get phone advice. Get video advice extremely quickly. Do not use ibuprofen. I think everyone's heard that. It's undoubtedly, do not use that. And so the likes of your paracetamols is also highly, highly recommended. COVID-19 testing for social care at the moment. It's it's been rolled out initially to frontline NHS. I appreciate we all think we're also frontline, and yes we are, but there's no news at the moment in terms of further testing for social care. Locally, diamorphine is almost run out, or is in the process of running out, and morphine is the only main respiratory assistance which is given at the moment. So in terms of the treatment for COVID-19 for our lovely residents, it is really just support treatment which is available. So quite simply, the body either gets over it or it doesn't get over it. It's as simple as that. So there isn't a great deal of treatment. It's very unlikely. A lot of homes saying, I need additional oxygen. Unless someone certainly, and just give you an idea. So this is, most of you have got this anyway. I don't want to insult your intelligence. It is sort of not an observation thing here. So typical things in here. So we've got a pulse oximeter, for oxygen levels. Again, if you can get hold of those, they're great. Again, I don't mean to insult you on this. You've got obviously your blood pressure, pretty standard stuff. You've got a BM kit, again, if you're qualified to use that, and you've got your tympanic thermometer. So what was that? So in terms of treatment, the body either gets over it or doesn't. A lot of homes asking about additional oxygen. At that stage, if they're unlikely to get over it, then it's the most effective treatment for lungs and respiratory is the anticipatory meds, because they're the medication, they're the pharmaceutical that can actually sort of dry up the lung secretions rather than give them more oxygen. So it's not something which is actually sort of recommended. But again, and of course, oxygen is a prescribed drug. Again, the earlier you can get a GP involved, so the key to it is don't be waiting. Get your laptop out, start having conversations with the GP. PPE is a national shortage. That's why sort of teaming up with a local care home. I've got to say, locally, Seston's doing very well. We're getting a phone call each day. How are we with PPE stores? Most homes seem to be okay. They're running out of masks. I think R300 again has been depleted. Try and multi-use them, and other PPE. We've got a plan now. It just so happens I've got these jackets which I'm probably going to use as some sort of barrier nursing, because I can wash them again on certain temperatures. So we've made our own innovations in-house, as I'm sure you all have. Just finally, the ops plan was issued last night. It was the one I'm currently working with at Birkdale Park. I'm now on version 3. I'm going to update that. I'll upload that. And again, for those of you sort of following that, then by all means, just raid it, take our logo off there, shove your own logo on. If there's anything I can help in terms of, that's why tonight there's a flurry, there's a flurry of posters. If I produce a poster for Birkdale Park, I immediately upload it. Excuse me. Onto the inner circle. And likewise, if any of you are doing some great work, now isn't the time to be protecting homework. Just get it up there. Consider that you're not going to be available. I think every single one of us at some point is probably going to get this. And identify the critical functions, your payroll, who orders the meds, who orders your routine COSH items in terms of your consumables, because chances are tomorrow they might be calling in sick and you're thinking, how the hell? Do you know all your passwords for your computers? Do you know the logins? This is not the time to be sort of trying to find that. So put a master sheet, obviously be security aware. The 999 protocol. So there was a little bit of confusion last week. If someone has something which is of a concern, it might be sepsis, it might be a fall. There's falls and falls. If someone's looking fine, they've got good observations, then get them off the floor. Don't be waiting for an ambulance to come and pick them off the floor 6 hours or 4 hours later. I'm sure you all wouldn't anyway. But what I would say though is if there is something else, then certainly call 999, have a discussion with the control centre, the emergency control centre, and there is still admissions into hospital. What I would say though is that we're seeking to avoid that at all costs. Not at all costs, but at a cost where it's a cost benefit analysis. The person going in and risking getting COVID-19, or indeed managing it in house. So if it's something really serious, and of course they've got to go in. But if it's not, then let's try and manage it within the security and safety of your own home. Team, that's it. Any questions from you lovely lot? Hi Nikki, hi Rachel, no Russell, good to see you mate. We've used sealable food bags with labels, great, you know, good stuff. And how's everyone else doing? I mean, I know there's some people who you know, today, the last few days have been quite stressed. All I say is that, look, you know, we're going to get through this. You know, the bluebirds will fly over the white cliffs of Dover again, and we'll be fine. And my goodness, we're going to be better for it. We're going to be more resilient. Emotionally, we're more resilient. You're going to be rocking and rolling. You're going to look at this time and go, you know, what a crazy period that was. But our systems are more organised. You're more independent. Your business continuity planning is brilliant. You've got some brilliant evidence for CQC now about you well-led, responsive, effective. You know, your leadership, boom, you guys are absolutely smashing that stuff. So just keep on going. We're all going to have a wobble, and that's absolutely fine. But we're going to get through this bad boy. And I'm just going to finish on the song which you all heard tonight. Who do you think you're kidding? So, who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Coronavirus, if you think we're on the run? We are the carers who will stop your little game. We are the carers who will make you think again. Cause who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Coronavirus, if you think old England's done? There you go, folks. Good to see you again. If you like that, you might have seen that again on Granada Reports. Anyway, lovely to see you. Keep on rocking and rolling, and we're all here for each other. You're giving me massive help and support. Just keep supporting each other. Have a great night. I'm going to go off to bed. Keep on rocking and rolling. Take care. Bye for now.